NBC Sports presents Major League Baseball from Tiger Stadium in Detroit. The Boston Red Sox versus the Detroit Tigers. Brought to you by the new Gillette Super Stainless Steel Blade, the Spoiler. By Chrysler Corporation, your host for today's game, Plymouth, and your local Plymouth dealer. And by Winston Filter Cigarettes. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. Hi, everybody. This is Curt Gowdy, your play-by-play broadcaster of NBC's Major League Baseball, along with Pee Wee Reese and Sandy Koufax. Today we're in Tiger Stadium as two contending teams in the American League collide here. While the Minnesota Twins and Chicago White Sox are playing over in Chicago, the Tigers and the Red Sox are going at it here. And, of course, the Red Sox have been the surprise team of the American League this year, a club that finished 9th last year, which has many fine players, right now is in pennant contention and plays 47 games at home in the last half of the year. The Tigers went into a bad slump for a spell, losing 14 out of 19, but they bounced back now and have won 5 in a row. They defeated the Red Sox last night in 11 innings for their 5th victory in succession, but I believe Pee Wee Reese and Sandy Koufax will concur that the Red Sox, with 4 hitters in the top 10 of the league, came up with 3 runs to tie the ball game last night in the 9th inning, and that's the kind of club they are. You can't count them out with that hitting in any game. What do you think, Pee Wee?
Well, Curt, I'd have to agree with you because the fans last night here, they had 25,000 of them. They did not leave this ballpark because they thought that this Boston club does have an explosive ball club, and they showed just that, but they lost another 1-1 ball game. I'm looking forward to seeing this Boston ball club because we haven't seen them this year. Sandy, about you?
Well, I feel the same way, Pee Wee. They've got some fine players on the ball club like Yastrzemski and Petrocelli that I've never seen. I've never seen them play, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know I'm going to see some of them in the All-Star game, but I want to see them before that.
Well, it seems like that we do know this Boston ball club because Mr. Gowdy's always talking about what a great ball club they have. And, of course, the Detroit ball club's had a few injuries, but they're sticking right in there.
I think they'll stay in there. If they can stay close till Kaline gets back, I think they've got a good chance. It's a little tough on a ball club to lose, the number 1 ball player on the club and possibly number 1 player in the league. And stay in there. And I think it hurts him physically on the field and mentally. But if they stay close until his hand's better, I think they're going to be right up in it all year.
Okay, Curt, that's it from over here.
All right, today's pitchers here on a beautiful afternoon in Detroit. Denny McLain, a right-hander, 9 wins and 9 losses, will be working for the Tigers. And another right-hander, Stange, 3 wins, 5 losses, will be pitching for the Red Sox. NBC's Major League Baseball will continue from Tiger Stadium, Detroit, as the Boston Red Sox meet the Detroit Tigers.
Are you ready for NBC Week?
Sundays this fall, Bonanza returns. Bonanza. Great new adventures on the Ponderosa. Following Bonanza every Sunday this fall, a spectacular new adventure series. The High Chaparral. On Sunday, September 10th, see the special 2-hour premiere of The High Chaparral. Big, new, different.
Are you ready for NBC Week? We'll be ready for you.
Now the batting orders for today's game for the visiting Boston Red Sox. At second base, leading off, will be Mike Andrews. Batting number 2 at third base will be Joe Foy. In left field, hitting third, Carl Yastrzemski. The cleanup man in right field is Tony Conigliaro. The first baseman is George Scott, batting number 5. Rico Petrocelli is the shortstop, batting number 6. Reggie Smith is in center field, batting 7. Mike Ryan will be catching, and the pitcher will be Stange. Stange pitching, Ryan catching. The battery today for the Boston Red Sox. The Tigers will have Lenny Green in left field leading off. Gary Lumpy at third base, batting number 2. Dick McAuliffe at second base, hitting third. Norm Cash at first base, batting cleanup. Jim Northrup in right field, batting number 5. Bill Freehan will be the catcher, hitting 6th. Mickey Stanley in center field, batting 7th. Ray Euler, the shortstop, batting 8th. And Denny McLain will be pitching today for the Tigers. And the men in blue are walking out, and they're really the men in blue today with their lovely blue shirts and blue pants and blue caps in the American League here in the hot weather. They take off their jackets. They're Bill Valentine behind the plate, Marty Springstead at first base, Johnny Stevens umpiring at second, and Bob Stewart at third. Wally Moses out representing the Tigers, and Dick Williams, the rookie big league manager, exchanging a lineup card. He's looking right at you now over the shoulder of the umpire of the Red Sox. It's always interesting to note that they make out the lineups in triplicates, and when they go to the plate, they exchange lineup cards, with the umpires having one and each manager having a lineup card. Here are the standings right up to the minute now in the American League. Chicago won yesterday. They lead the Tigers by 3, the Twins by 3.5, the Red Sox by 6. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. National League, the Cardinals won last night. They lead the Cubs now, who lost their 5th in a row to Houston by 2.5. The Reds by 4, the Braves by 6, and the Giants by 6. The Giants won last night against the Dodgers. They're 6 out instead of 6.5. So we still do have 2 sizzling races here in the Major League as we're approaching the All-Star game break. The Tigers are on the field. Denny McLain is about to begin his warm-up pitches on a warm afternoon in Detroit. Temperature is in the 80s here. It's a little bit muggy. We have very little breeze. What breeze there is blowing from home plate out towards second base. Now, this is one of the prettiest ballparks of the majors, and incidentally, one of the best action or hitting ballparks. There's a good background here for the hitters, and the stands are within easy range in left field and right field, and also a low line drive is out here. So it's not an easy park to pitch in unless you make those batters hit it straight away, because there's a very deep center field here of 440 feet. So the idea is to keep the right-handers and the left-handers from pulling and to get them to hit into this deep center field. Now as Denny McLain warms up, let's have Sandy Koufax talk about the Tigers' starting pitcher.
Well, Curt, McLain's basically a fastball and curveball pitcher. They say he's working on a slider now, which might be because he has a little trouble with the curveball. He hangs a lot of them, gives up a lot of long balls, a lot of home runs. I think he's given up 23 already this year. And I think the slider might be an easier pitch for him to control. So he's trying to, get another pitch to go with his good fastball and keep the ball down. Denny can be awfully tough when he keeps the ball down, because he's got good breaking stuff and a good fastball.
All right, Sandy, Denny McLain, an accomplished Oregon player, is now pitching to Mike Andrews, who will be 24 years old tomorrow. He's one of the old men on this Boston ball club. Andrews batting .254, has 3 homers, 16 RBIs. This is his rookie season. He played for Dick Williams at Toronto last year. He's a line drive type of hitter, an excellent bunter with a strike rate. He leads the American League in sacrifice bunts with 12, and he led the International League in sacrifice bunts last year. Andrews, Foy, Yastrzemski for the Red Sox in the top of the first. And he bloops it out into center. It's going to drop for a base hit. He hit a curveball. Picked up out there by Mickey Stanley, so there goes your no-hitter, the leadoff batter of the game single. Mike Andrews on first, and Joe Foy coming up, batting .231 with 12 homers, 28 runs batted in. Foy got off to a very slow start. He has now been hitting over .300, though, in his last 30 games. He's coming along, and the Red Sox think he'll have a solid second half of the season with a bat. He's a straightaway hitter, has a lot of power to left center and right center. Lane Kersey missed ball one. Yastrzemski will be on deck. These are two of the best batting ball clubs in the American League. The Red Sox lead the league in batting, and the Tigers and Red Sox are tied for the lead in home runs in the American League. They've each hit 78 homers. So when they get going with those bats, you have some action. And they both play in ballparks that favor the hitters, Fenway Park and Tiger Stadium. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball is up high. It's 2-0. Boy is a New York boy, born there, still lives there. Last time the Red Sox were in New York while they were playing the Yankees, his parents' home burned down. And he went out and helped his parents move. It was an eventful weekend for him, one that he'll never forget. Ball 3. Boy looks the ball over well. He led the Red Sox in walks last year. Andrews at first. Nobody out, top of the first inning. He walked on 4 pitches. Now the Red Sox have runners on first and second. Nobody out. And Carl Yastrzemski coming up. He's been in a slump. He's a streaky hitter. When he gets hot, boy, he can be as hot as anyone in baseball. And he can cool off and have his problems. He's had only 1 hit in his last 19 times up, but he's still right up there in the batting title race, hitting .313. Frank Robinson leads the league with .337. Yastrzemski's third in batting. Straight away for him. He's pulling the ball more this year, Yastrzemski is, than he has in the past. He used to be almost a dead opposite field hitter. Strike to him. Canigliaro will be on deck. Andrews is at second. Foy at first. Nobody out. Yastrzemski's had 18 homers. He had 20 the entire season last year. He's knocked in 54 runs. A 1-strike delivery. There's a line shot. Cash has it. Goes to second. And back to first. He was going for the triple play. He had a cinch double play at first. He flipped over to Andrews, and Andrews is doubled off with Ray Euler, the shortstop, making the play. Cash had visions of a triple play at that time. He saw he had easily doubled off first Foy. All he had to do was run over there and step on the bag. But he was hoping to get the toss to second and then back to him at first for the triple play. And that was a fairly close play at second for the double play. Oh, quickly 2 down on a line drive, and here's Canigliaro up, and he's been the hottest batter for the Red Sox. He's hit 5 homers his last 9 games. Boy getting back. had also 30 runs batted in his last 26 games. In other words, he's been getting an RBI for every ball game. He got off to a slow start, and then he went into the service for 2 weeks to set him back. Strike, he's still a baby. Started playing with the Red Sox in '64, and he's only 22 years old. Boy at first, 2 down, no score. 1 ball, 1 strike. Migliero has not been injured this year. He's had a pension for getting bones broken. He's had 3 broken bones. High fly, right center. Mickey Stanley galloping over. Hauls it in, and that retires the Sox. No runs. 1 hit for the Red Sox. There were no errors, and 1 man left. Middle of the first inning, our score. The Red Sox nothing. The Tigers are coming to bat.
You're new in the Legion, huh?
Yeah.
Why did you join?
Went out of town one day. Business. Took the family's right guard with me.
You left your whole family defenseless?
Yeah.
Get off my sand dune!
Gillette Right Guard. The perfect personal family deodorant, because nothing touches you but the spray itself. Don't leave your family defenseless. Get an extra Gillette Right Guard.
Oh, am I getting a terrible shave? Oh, am I getting a terrible shave?
Here, Henry, stop that moaning.
Oh, am I getting a wonderful shave? Oh.
Lee Stange warming up. Sandy Koufax on Mr. Stange.
Curt Stange is 3-5 this year. He's had a sore arm all spring. They think he's come around now. He's a sinker slider type pitcher. He'll throw that fastball inside and try and move the right-hand hitters back a little bit and try and make you hit the slider, which is probably his best pitch. Stange will throw an overhand curveball mostly to the left-hand hitters. He doesn't throw too many of the right-hand hitters, but he'll try and throw that straight overhand curveball to the left-handers as a third pitch to them.
Lenny Green, 13th professional baseball season, leading off for the Tigers, called up from their Toledo Farm Club. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. Kaline out. Gates Brown is out. Willie Horton is ailing. He may not play regular the rest of the year. Tigers were desperate for outfielders, so they made a trade to get veteran Jim Landis and brought Lenny Green up. Green was released by the Red Sox. He hit that on a line to Mike Andrews, and there's 1 down. And Green has been hitting that ball since the Tigers brought him up. He's been coming through for him. Here's Jerry Lumpy, batting 191. He's another line drive type hitter. Don Wirth, the regular third baseman of the Tigers, has a pulled hamstring muscle, so Lumpy's in the lineup. One out, nobody on. Ball 1. Remember how small Bobby Shands used to be? Well, this fellow's not much bigger. He weighs about 162, 63 pounds. A 1-0 delivery. Strike, and Pee Wee, I think by the time he hangs in this ball game when it's over, he'll weigh about 154, 55 in his hot day.
He stands a good chance of losing a little bit because it's hot and humid here to Detroit today, but usually these little fellas can take it better than the big one.
Blowing away, ball 2, strike 1 to Jerry Lumpy. Dick McAuliffe on deck. These Tigers are loaded with left-handed batters. They have 5 of them in their lineup. 2-1 pitch. At the letters, 2-2. Stange's been with the Twins and the Indians. The 2-2 pitch. Now we go 3-2 to Jerry Lumpy. One out, nobody on. Wrapped it sharply to George Scott. George makes the play, and he's there. 2 down. George Scott of Greenville, Mississippi, told us today that his mother's watching him play. She bought a television set, especially for this game. Says, my mother's name's Magnolia. And he said, say hello to my mom. She's looking in. Never seen me play in the big leagues before. And he said, I got to get a couple long taters for her today. I got to get 2 long hits and make 2 good plays in the field for her. So we'll see how he does today. He's quite a fielding first baseman. 2 down, nobody on. And Dick McAuliffe up batting .252. The strike. Here's a fellow never looks too comfortable at the plate, does he, Pee Wee?
Oh, he does. And I would say he has a very unusual stance. If you watch him now, it looks like a cigar storing in up there, but he can swing that bat.
He pops it up in the shallow right. Tony Conigliero's there. And it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Lee Stange. The Tigers 3 up, 3 down at the end of the first inning to score. The Red Sox nothing and the Tigers nothing.
It's not how long you make it. It's how you make it long. Now Winston makes a super king with a taste that's Winston good.
Yes, now Winston makes an extra long cigarette that tastes good, like only a Winston could, with an extra measure of the famous quality that has made Winston America's largest selling cigarette. Anyone can make a long cigarette, but just length alone won't give you the taste you're looking for. Remember,
it's not how long you make it. It's how you make it long.
pick up a pack of new Super King-size Winstons today.
Tastes good. It should. It's Winston.
And here's George Scott now, Greenville, Mississippi up. Hitting .293. He's had 10 homers, 40 runs batted in. When he gets a hold of one, he can ride it about as far as anybody in the game. Ball one to him. It'll be Scott Petrucelli and Reggie Smith for the Red Sox in the second. Little change-up. Backhanded by McLain. Tosses him out, and we have one down. Here's the starting shortstop for the American League in the All-Star game in Anaheim Tuesday, Rico Petrucelli. The strike, he's been out of action about 10 days. He was hit on the wrist, the right wrist. You can see it taped up. And he broke back into the lineup last night. One ball, one strike. Petrucelli batting .300. Has 8 homers, 33 RBI. Red Sox have 4 of the top 10 batters in the American League. And he hits that on the line to shortstop. 2 down. Ray Oyler, who's been playing a mess of shortstop for the Tigers the last month. Reggie Smith coming up. Boy who led the International League in batting last year with a .320 average. He's off to a slow start, but he's starting to come around. He's a switch hitter, batting .216. He can run, too. He was drafted out of the Minnesota Twins organization by the Red Sox. Ball one. 2 down, nobody on, no score. Top of the second. NBC's Major League Baseball. One and one to him. 1-1 pitch to Reggie Smith is 2-1. Well, McLain has allowed 23 homers this year, one every 5 innings. Last year he gave up 42 homers, the most home runs given up by a pitcher in the major league. Well, he has that gopher ball problem. Bounding ball to Norm Cash. Does it on his own, and the Red Sox are 3 up, 3 down in the second. In the middle of the second inning, the score is the Red Sox nothing, the Tigers nothing.
No matter what your mode of travel, or how much luxury you've grown accustomed to, it's easy to get carried away by the long, fine car looks of Plymouth Fury, and by a price that seems meager to anyone who appreciates sport luxury. Fury's a distinctive car, everywhere, big for the low price field, big on extra value features, and under the luxury, lightning. The most powerful standard V8 in its class, all of which accounts for the great popularity of Fury 67.
Plymouth is out to win you over this year. Follow your heart to your Plymouth dealer today.
You didn't get last night's scores here in 11 innings. The Tigers beat the Red Sox 5-4. It was Cleveland 6, Washington 3. New York shut out Baltimore 3-0. The White Sox nipped Minnesota 2-1. The Angels took a doubleheader from the A's 7-2, 8-2. We'll give the National League scores a little bit later. Hey, those Angels have really got red hot the last month, Pee-wee.
They certainly have, Curt. They were 12 under 500 just not too long ago, and looked to me like Mr. Rigney, the manager, may be in a little trouble. But right now, he's brought that ball club along, and they're only 6 behind. They're 43-40. This ball club is ready to move. Glad to see it for Bill Rigney's sake.
And we'll be out in Anaheim Tuesday. That's the home of the Angels for the annual All-Star Game, which will be seen on NBC television and heard on NBC radio. Pee-wee, Sandy and I will be there to cover the game, and we're looking forward to having Buddy Blattner, the very fine broadcaster of the California Angels, working with us on both television and radio. Top man, Buddy. There's a high fly, center field, Reggie Smith calling for it. And Norm Cash flies out on the first pitch in the last of the second. The gray fox coming up. Jim Northrup. He's young, but he's starting to get those gray hairs. He gives some pitchers gray hairs, too. He's batting .276. 4 homers, 31 RBI. He'll spray the ball around. He hits with power to left center. He had the mumps a few weeks ago. 1 out, nobody on. Lee Stange's pitch is ball 1 to him. Bill Freehan is on deck. A strike to him, 1-1. Northrup graduated from Elma College in Elma, Michigan. He won letters in 5 sports. Quite an athlete. 1-1 pitch to him. A strike. We're about as close to the playing field here as any broadcast location in the major leagues. Our NBC booth is suspended just above the Tiger on deck circle. You can almost reach out down there. We're looking right down at Bill Freehan now. He's right down below him.
They're talking about that. You better watch these left-handed hitters, that we may get a little line drive in this booth, and I know that you'll be the person to jump up there and grab it.
I'll be the first one under the table. That's right. For years here, I've worked here, Pee-wee, you've got to watch out. When these liners foul come up here, they really come up here. Strike 3 to Northrup. 2 down. Slow motion of Northrup swing. Yes, got under that pitch. 2 down, nobody on, and Bill Freehan up. He'll be the starting catcher in the All-Star Game for the American League. He's on his way to a record. That is not too pleasant. Ball one. He's been hit 12 times this year. And the Tiger record for being hit most times in the season by a pitcher is 17, held by Heine Manuch back in 1923. We have no score, last to the second. Ball two.
It looks like every time we show a slow motion shot of a batter, he always swings over the top of the ball. Wasn't a ball player one time that had his shoes built up because he kept swinging over the top of the ball?
Pounding ball to Joe Foy at third. Fires across the shot, and that's it. They're down 1-2-3 in the last of the second inning. So at the end of the second, the score, 0-0.
The Gillette Techmatic razor costs $2.95. Ask your face about it.
How about it? I thought you'd never ask. I want one. Why? Look, I can't stand pressure. The lighter a razor feels, the better I feel. And this Techmatic feels very light. Uh-huh. Now, nicks. Do you know what one nick can do to my pride? With the Techmatic, you're just not going to nick me so much. That's a fact. You're very sensitive. Yes. Another thing about the Techmatic, this crank. It unwinds a super stainless steel band. It's so easy. You won't keep shaving me with a worn-out edge just because you are too lazy. No, don't get nasty. Too lazy to change blades while you're shaving. You'll flip that lever. Hey, you really do want a Gillette Techmatic, don't you? Well, why didn't you say so before? Well, faces should be seen, not heard.
We want to remind you that the telecast and broadcast time of the All-Star Game Tuesday will be 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Mountain, and 4 o'clock Pacific Time. Tuesday, July 11th, another NBC Sports exclusive. Mike Ryan from Haverhill, Massachusetts, leading off. He'll be followed by Lee Stange, and then to the top of the order for Mike Andrews. We have no score. The Red Sox have the only hit of the game. We're in the top of the third. Ball one. McLain using a lot of slow stuff, mixing it up with his fastball so far. Ryan caught a game recently. He didn't know it, but he had a dislocated knuckle and knocked in 3 runs during the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. They had to put the knuckle back in place after the game.
I believe I'd have left that knuckle out of place.
Ground ball to third baseman Jerry Lumpy. They flip across, and we have 1 down. Third inning. And the pitcher Lee Stange comes up. That reminds me, Pee Wee, in the 1950 All-Star Game in Chicago, you probably played in that game, Ted Williams crashed into the wall at Comiskey Park and fractured his elbow. And they had to operate on him a few days later, and they took about 3 or 4 inches of elbow bone out. And he stayed in that game and swung the bat and got a line drive single with a fractured elbow.
Yes, sir, I do remember it, and I was there. Of course, Williams, imagine he could hit right now. He hit 350 if they put him back in uniform.
Ball one. A lot of people wonder about Ted. What's he doing? Where he is? He makes his winter home in Isla Mirada, Florida, and he's in Lakeville, Massachusetts right now. Has a boys' camp there on Cape Cod. And though he combines between the two. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Did Ted Williams ever think about managing the Red Sox? I'm sure he could have had the job if he wanted it.
He never wanted to manage. He said he would never want to manage and wanted no part of it.
So they get another Williams.
Right. 1 out, nobody on. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike. Williams always said I might have had a little problems with the press.
No.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Lee Stange. 1 out, nobody on. That's a ball, 2-2. The Twins and the White Sox are underway. No score at the end of the first inning. Merritt against John. Washington scoreless in their first inning. They're playing at Cleveland. It'll be Joe Coleman against Louis Tion. The rest of the action's tonight in the American League. All three to the opposing pitcher. In the National League, the Pirates are leading Cincinnati 2-0 at the end of the first inning. Arrigo against Sisk. Los Angeles to San Francisco hasn't started. And the rest of the National League games are tonight. 3-2 pitch to Lee Stange. They walked him. They lost him. He was ahead on the count. So there's a runner on first, one out. Mike Andrews coming up. You know, before the game, we asked Dick Williams, the rookie manager of the Red Sox, and he thought the Red Sox would stay in contention the rest of the year.
Curt, I think we'll get stronger as we go along. We've been losing a lot of one-run ball games and winning an awful lot the past couple of weeks, but this ball club doesn't give up. It's a young ball club. It's gaining experience as the season progresses, and our pitching is getting stronger as we go along, so I look for us to be up in contention the full year.
Ball one. By the way, Dick's mother, Mrs. Hodel, in the San Gabriel Valley in Arcadia, California, and Altadena. Watching Dick today, we understand. NBC outlet out there. You played with Dick, Pee-wee?
Yes, sir, I certainly did, and I saw him when he'd go for a ball in Ebbets Field to hurt his shoulder, and I think he would have been a real fine outfielder.
Andrews takes ball 2, 2-1.
It was nice to hear Bobby Doerr, the great second baseman for the Red Sox for a number of years, who's now coaching for him at first base, say that he thought that Williams should take full credit for this ball club doing what it has done this year. He's done a real great job in getting this ball club from being a country club into a real contender.
Andrews hits that fly ball to Mickey Stanley. Center fielder, 2 down. Stange at first. And Joe Foy up, walk. This game comes to you from Tiger Stadium in Detroit, live and in color, exclusively on NBC. We have no score. We're at the top of the third inning. The Red Sox have 2 down, and Lee Stange's at first. Foy still batting, 231. Strike. He cocks that bat high up there, doesn't he?
Just noticing that, Curt. We talking about it a while ago. Yastrzemski and Reggie Smith, a lot of them have that closed stance a little bit like Ted Williams. I guess he's taught this ball club in spring training, hasn't he?
Not only that, he's worked with them, down the minors. There's a high fly to straightaway center. Stanley had flipped those sunglasses down. And that's it. 3 putouts for center fielder Stanley so far, and the Red Sox are all out in the third. They had no runs, no hits, there were no errors, and 1 man left. So in the middle of the third inning, the score is the Red Sox nothing and the Tigers nothing. Gentlemen, would you believe
Now Winston makes a super king, a Winston super king.
Did you say Winston makes a super king-size Winston?
Yes, Winston makes a super king with a taste that's Winston good. It's not how long you make it. It's how you make it long. So try a Winston Super King.
Anyone can make a long cigarette. But it's not how long you make it, it's how you make it long. And only Winston can give you an extra measure of the famous quality that has made Winston America's largest selling cigarette. Pick up a tall gold and red pack of new super king-size Winstons today.
Tastes good.
It should.
It's Winston.
The Tigers' bottom of the order coming up in the last of the third inning. Stanley, Euler, and McLain facing Lee Stange. Stange's 30 years old, lives now in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. And the boy is facing Mickey Stanley, can really play a marvelous defensive outfit. His hitting has been doubtful. But he can go get that ball. Batting .218. 4 homers, 14 RBIs. Ball 1. Stange attended Drake University, played baseball, basketball, and football there. This is his 11th pro season. He came to the Red Sox last year along with Don McMahon in the trade for Dick Raddatz. In fact, the Indians have given the Red Sox 2 starters, Stange and Gary Bell. And they've needed some pitching. And they suddenly have come up with the best pitching staff they've had in a long time. They're about 3rd or 4th in the league now in team pitching. In fact, I think the last 20-some games, nobody had scored over 3 runs a game on them, or over 4. They're getting good, steady pitching. High pop-up. George Scott, the first baseman. Foul ground. 1 out. Ray Oyler, the next batter. Batting .208, no homers, 14 RBI. McLain, the pitcher, will be up next. Ball 1. One out, nobody on. 1-1 to him. Stange's lifetime record against the Tigers is 5 wins, 6 losses. 2-1 to Ray Oyler. Oyler. The 2-1 delivery. 3-1 now. He doesn't walk many. He gives up about 2 walks every 9 innings he pitches. Right now he's behind 3-1 to Ray Oyler. 3-2. Really good crowd here today, Saturday afternoon in Tiger Stadium. 3-2 delivery. Bounding ball. Petrocelli can't handle it top of the bag. And Oyler's on. That's an error charge to Rico Petrocelli. Let's have old shortstop Reese analyze this one for you.
Well, you can take a look. He didn't get a short hop. He got about a 3/4 hop, and that's the toughest play you can get from the shortstop. And Rico couldn't find the handle. I'll say one thing about this, Curt. This young shortstop. up. And Rico couldn't find the handle. I'll say one thing about this, Curt. This young shortstop you've been telling me about, he can hit that curveball. If he can hit the curveball, he's going to be a good hitter.
Tries the bunt and fouls it off. Mike Andrews diving and can't get to it. He scraped those elbows. We have no score. Last of the third inning here. The Tigers have one out. Ray Oyler at first base. And the count is 0-1 to Dennis McLain. Stopping a runner at second as Canigliaro pecks into Petrocelli. Dennis McLain, the pitcher, gets the first hit for the Tigers. Runners on first and second, and Lenny Green coming up. He was batting .068. He'll be talking about that one for a month.
Looked like Stange tried to throw him a high fastball, Curt, making it difficult to butt it, and the high fastball is probably a little easier to hit it.
Oh, the Detroit Tigers have a threat going now in the last of the third with one down, runners on first and second. The strike to Lenny Green. Lined out to second his first time. Lenny didn't have too far to go to join the Tigers. He was playing at Toledo. His home is here in Detroit, and he was commuting to Toledo to play minor league baseball. There's a blooper to left. It's a base hit. Coming in to score is Oyler. Yastrzemski's throw comes through, and it's not in time. Holding at second base is McLain. Lenny Green really filling the bill for the injured Gates Brown and Willie Horton. Done quite a job since they brought him up. Well, the Tigers lead now 1-0. With runners on first and second, one out, Jerry Lumpy's up, and he grounded out his first time. Back, strike one.
Curtis, you were talking about a while ago, the Detroit Ball Club has put 5 left-handers at the start of this lineup. As we saw out here last night, Dick Williams came with a left-hander the first opportunity he had. I wouldn't be a bit surprised he does it today. There's no action in the bullpen right now, though.
The one-strike pitch. Hammered foul on the ground, strike two. Now, Williams is moaning today. So I wish I had a couple left-handed starters to throw at these fellas in this ballpark. The Red Sox, since Mel Parnell retired, though, have always had trouble coming up with a left-handed starting pitcher. Of course, the ballpark's against the left-hander there in Boston, but they've never been able to get any left-handers on their staff. Good starters. And you need them against clubs here like the Tigers and the White Sox. The Yankees had Barron and all those fellas. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Do you think the Red Sox maybe sometime built their ball club around their home park in Boston?
I believe most of the time. I think most clubs do, though, don't they, Pee-wee?
Do I have to answer that?
I mean, you play half your games there. You should take advantage of the Geography, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yankees always look for those left-handed pull hitters. The Dodgers, when they moved to L.A., they wanted speed and pitching out there, didn't they, Sandy?
Yes, they did, Curt. And the Yankees have always had pretty good left-handed pitching.
Right. Tigers like the left-handed pull hitters here. It's only 325 down the line.
You know, the first thing that came in my mind was that the old Dodgers, of course, you can always talk about because playing with them for so long. We had 8 or 7 right-handed hitters, and we had a right field fence about 290.
Change-up fooled Jerry Lumpy and struck him out. That's right. Snyder was the only one to really take aim on that fence, wasn't he?
That's right. Of course, as you've said many of the time, it was a bandbox anyway.
Well, we have to needle you a little bit. 2 down. Runners on first and second, and Dick McAuliffe up. Flying out his first time. Tigers are leading 1-0 here in the last of the third. Ball 1, McAuliffe. Funny sometimes what misfortune can do to a person, an organization, or an athletic team. And misfortune right now seems to sort of spurred the Tigers on. Strike. They have won 5 in a row, 7 of their last 9 without Kaline and Willie Horton and Gates Brown in the lineup. Boys all knew they all had to bear down harder to make up for their absence. 1-1 to Dick McAuliffe. McLain's at second. Lenny Green's at first. Curveball missing. 2-1. Down. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 to it. Norman Cash on deck. Into 2 innings, the Twins and the White Sox. No score. Delivery. He pops it up. Outside of first base. George Scott waiting for that one to come down. And so Stange gets out of the jam. In the third, the Tigers had 1 run, 2 hits, 1 Red Sox error, and 2 men left. At the end of the third inning, the score is the Tigers 1 and the Red Sox 0.
1965. Remember the Indianapolis 500? Rookie Jimmy Clark won in record time. The entire Northeast went dark in history's biggest blackout. Women discovered the miniskirt. And Paul Benson tried Valentine beer for the first time.
It's okay, but I still like my beer better.
Now that bothered us, so we did something about it. 1967, and Paul Benson tries Valentine again.
Now that's a great glass of beer. What'd they do?
We improved it. It's not easy to make a good beer better, but we did it. 1967 Valentine is so good, it's now a premium beer. And it says so right on the label.
Valentine's got the flavor that says, hey friend, do it again, Valentine beer.
Hey friend, do it again.
Valentine beer.
Valentine premium beer.
We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
Channel 6, Schenectady.
Curt Gowdy, Pee Wee Reese, Sandy Koufax with you again from Tiger Stadium. As we're going to the 4th inning, Yastrzemski, Canigliaro, and Scott up for the Red Sox. There's Carl Yastrzemski. Won a batting title 3 years ago. Before the game, we asked him his chances of winning another American League batting championship.
Well, Curt, I don't want to predict anything. Right now I'm down about 315, 314, somewhere in that area. Plus you have Tony Oliva coming on strong, hitting the ball well. Expect him to improve. And also you have Kaline and Robinson. It's a tough thing to say. You just go out and put out 100% every day, and let's see what happens. I want a pennant.
Well, they all want a pennant in Boston. They want one here in Detroit, too. They haven't had them for a long time. Carl lined into a double play his first time. Oh, when we have a wire here from Winter Haven, Florida. That's the spring training base of the Red Sox. Winter Haven, Florida, very proud of the fine record of the team, offers heartiest congratulations. There's a line drive in the gap in right center. That ball is going back to the wall. Yastrzemski's going in a second, and he has a stand-up double. He's led the American League in doubles 3 of the last 4 years. Telegram was signed George Parton, Jr., President, Winter Haven Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. Tony Conigliaro flied out to center field his first time. That was Yastrzemski's 16th double of the year. You ever hear one of his rock and roll records, Conigliaro?
No, I haven't, Curt.
Pretty good rock singer. Fouls it out of play, strike one. Last winter, Tony, he'd never been much of it. There's Yastrzemski a second, Hunter a fisherman, and a friend of his, a pilot with one of the airlines, talked him into going over to Africa on a safari. Tony said it cost me $5,000, but it was worth it. He had the time of his life, went on a 6-week safari. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Must be single, isn't it?
He is. Dennis McLain pitching to Tony Conigliaro with the Tigers ahead 1-0. We're in the 4th inning. Yastrzemski's on second, nobody out. Slow ball, a little bit high, 2-1. Conigliaro, he attacks the ball. He sticks his head right over that plate, charges right into it. He's aggressive at the plate. 3-1 to him now. Yastrzemski getting his lead. 4th inning, NBC's Major League Baseball. Hope you're enjoying the games each Saturday. Fly ball out to Mickey Stanley. Yastrzemski's tagging at second. Stanley deep grabs it, is firing to third. Good throw, a little bit off. Yastrzemski's into third base. And that's the 4th put out for Mickey Stanley. Now the Red Sox have the tying run at third with 1 down. And George Scott coming up, rolled out to the pitcher his first time. Well, McLain's doing one thing, Pee Wee. He's making those batters hit that ball straight away for the most part.
Yes, he is, Curt. And I was thinking then with the count 3-1 on Conigliaro. He's been hot lately. I didn't think they would give him too good of a pitch to hit. Of course, that was not a bad pitch. He's a curveball out away from him. Kind of fooled him a little bit. Of course, George Scott is no soft touch.
They're appealing at second base. And the second base umpire, Stevens, yelled over to the first base umpire who had called the play. The second base umpire was going out to watch the play in center field, so Springstead had been covering, watching the runner tag at second, the strike. And they said Yastrzemski tagged all right, went on to third, didn't leave too soon. 1 strike to George Scott. Yastrzemski at third, one down. Scott hitting .292. Blows the fastball in there, 0-2. Scott last year hit a lot of home runs early in the year, and he was going downtown on every pitch. Now he's just trying to hit the ball back to the middle this year and hit the right field. He struck out a lot last year. Every now and then he'll take a big ripple, though. No balls, 2 strikes.
That hurts, Curt. When you got a man on third and less than 2 out, and you don't get a piece of the ball, he's got no chance.
Sandy, I would say he did a pretty good job of pitching, too. He just got through curving Conigliaro 2 or 3 times there, and Scott may have been looking for a curveball. He threw him 2 fastballs, and I guess he was still waiting for that curveball. He threw him 3 fastballs. He took all 3 of them.
And Petrocelli takes ball 1. 2 down, Yastrzemski at third. Yastrzemski led off this inning with a double. The Tigers are ahead 1-0. 4th inning. Leads him another slow one, 2-0. The Twins and the White Sox now have gone 3 innings, no score. Jim Merritt against Tommy John. Washington leads Cleveland 2-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Pirates lead the Reds 2-0 at the end of 2.5. The only other games going. McLain boring that fastball through. A 2-1 count to Rico Petrocelli. Rico says his 2 greatest thrills in life. He had twin boys here a few weeks ago and then being picked for the All-Star team. 2-1 pitch. That one just missed. 3-1 to Petrocelli. Yastrzemski on third, 2 down. Three-one delivery. 3-2.
Tell me that Petrocelli's a Brooklyn boy?
Right. He used to go out, and he was telling me today, he said, Pee Wee used to be one of my heroes when I was a little boy. He used to go out and watch you fellas play all the time. He's a Brooklyn boy.
Curt, Pee Wee was one of my heroes when I was a little boy.
Me too. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Runners on first and third, 2 down. Reggie Smith coming up. The Tigers have 1 run, 2 hits. The Red Sox have no runs, 2 hits. Smith grounded out his first time. Batting .215. Smith began as a shortstop, went to third base. He has one of the most powerful throwing arms you'll ever want to see. Ball 1. You can get some argument, of course. That's what makes baseball so much fun. You can argue all the time about things, but Red Sox players believe that Smith has the strongest throwing arm of anyone in the American League. There are the 2 runners, Yastrzemski at third, Petrocelli at first. 2 down. McLain has walked 3 so far. And McLain will be pitching 1-0 to Reggie Smith. Now it's 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Took a little bit off to him that time, 2-1. The Red Sox have lost something. Their last 9 losses have been by 1 run. 9 one-run losses. Last 12 losses have been by 1 run. The 10th. Got to be 10. The 2-1 pitch. Fly ball to the opposite field. Lenny Green's waiting for it. And that's all for the Red Sox in the 4th. No runs, 1 hit. There were no errors, 2 left. The middle of the 4th inning, the score, the Tigers 1 and the Red Sox nothing.
Whatever you're now driving, even if it's your pride and joy, your spirits will soar when you get won over to Barracuda. The all-new Plymouth sports car that's as wild as a European GT. This Formula S version is the wildest, with a standard 273 cubic inch V8 for an optional 383. Vinyl pleated snug fitting buckets, console shift, and instruments ready to rally. An interior that could only have been designed by motion experts. There's no seeing it without trying it, because Barracuda is the sports car you can easily afford.
Plymouth is out to win you over this year. Follow your heart to your Plymouth dealer today.
Barracuda, so wild it's created a following all its own.
Tomorrow night, the Saint goes to jail in a daring attempt to trap a ring of prison escape artists. Roger Moore portrays the legendary Simon Templar. Tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central Time, right here on NBC. Norm Cash, Jim Northrup, Bill Freehan up for the Tigers in the last of the 4th inning. Cash fly to center his first time up, batting .258. Right, you know, you look at Cash, you wouldn't think so. He's quite a football player. San Angelo, Texas Junior College. He was drafted by the Chicago Bears one time. There's a ground ball out to Mike Andrews. 1 down. Cash out, Andrews to Scott. Jim Northrup struck out his first time. We'll be in Dodger Stadium next Saturday for NBC's Major League Baseball, the Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers. 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Ball 1. Tigers 1, the Red Sox nothing, last of the 4th. Sharp ground ball down to Scott. Flips to Stange covering, 2 down. And Bill Freehan coming up now, grounded out his first time. One thing that has helped the Red Sox pitching this year has been their best defensive infield in some time. Petrocelli at short. Andrews has stepped in, done a good job as a rookie at second. Scott's a fine first baseman, and Foy's very steady at third. Ball 1. And I believe the next pitcher will tell you that infield's pretty important, right, Sandy?
Yes, it is, Curt. Those great plays behind you make it a lot easier.
Strike to Freehan, 1-1 to the big Tiger catcher, Mayo Smith. Looking on, a new Tiger manager, Grandfella. 2-1.
Curt, Pee-wee and I were talking. We, made a comparison between Scott and Hodges. Well, we decided that Scott handles the pop flies a little better. Gil used to shake under pop fly. He'd catch bad hops and ground balls, and he hated those pop flies.
Here's the ball hit sharply to Joe Foy at third. And they're down 1-2-3. We're rocking right along here. And a brilliant pitching duel between McLain and Stange. So at the end of the fourth inning, the score, the Tigers 1 and the Red Sox nothing.
Young man.
Yes, madam.
Is this the one they call the spoiler?
Oh, yes, madam.
You're absolutely sure?
Yes, madam.
With the miracle plastic coating on the edge?
Yes, madam.
But it doesn't say the spoiler.
Madam, I give you my word.
Thank you. You know, my husband has so much trouble when he shaves. I must tell him about it.
When you drop your razor, it's like dropping your watch. It gets knocked out of alignment. The blade doesn't sit just right. You don't know why, but you get nicked. So if you've ever dropped your razor hard, you may need a new one. Nothing lasts forever. Not even a Gillette razor.
We'll be in Dodger Stadium as the surprising Cubs and the Dodgers play next Saturday. Ron Santo, Billy Williams, Ernie Banks, the Cub team, and the ever-lovable Leo DeRocher face the Dodgers. The folks in Chicago and Los Angeles will see the game between Houston and San Francisco. It's a late game, starting 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, exclusively on NBC. And moving in now to take over our play-by-play, another NBC exclusive, Mr. Pee Wee Reese.
Thank you, Mr. Gowdy. Mike Ryan's the first hitter, batting .234. It's been all pitching with Dennis McLain giving up 2 hits and Lee Stange giving up 2 hits. For the score, Detroit 1, the Red Sox nothing. The ever-lovable Leo DeRocher. I thought you were going to bring me back in and say the ever-lovable Pee Wee Reese. Curveball. Little high, ball 2. Sandy, I guess Leo may be listening down in Houston today. If you ever happen to play for him, sometimes you don't think he's too lovable.
Well, the only time I played for him, Pee Wee, when he was a coach. I didn't play for him as a manager, and he was a lovable sort of a coach.
2 balls, 1 strike on Mike Ryan, leading things off for the Red Sox here in the top half of the 5th inning. He'll be followed by the pitcher, Lee Stange. Had a real good swing, no contact. 2-2. The last time we were in Detroit, we saw Dennis McLain pitch. I was thinking then that he may have kept his fastball and his breaking stuff down a little bit better then, but he's had real good success. I think he's been up the ball a little bit more today.
He's gotten the breaking ball up a lot, but it's been taken. A lot of times you'll see that ball hit. You never get to see if the breaking ball is up or not because it gets hit first. But Red Sox have taken a lot of high curveballs today.
This fellow sitting behind the plate, Bill Freehan, has something to do with what that pitcher throws, I'm sure. And he did a great job on George Scott a while ago, throwing him 3 straight fastballs. Change up and a dandy. You could see Mike Ryan was out in front of that off-speed pitch of his fastball. 2-2 pitch.
He's made good use of it today, Pee Wee. He's gotten quite a few hitters on change-ups, and last time we were here, he didn't throw that many. Maybe 1 or 2 during the ball game. He's probably thrown 10 or 12 of them already in the 4 innings.
Lee Stange walked his only time up today. Dennis McLain, his only time up today, is a line drive base hit out in the right field. Pitchers. I like a eagle by Mr. Stange. And a good hitter, McLain. Fastball right in there for call strike 1, and this ball game is moving right along. Remember, next Saturday, we'll be out in L.A. for a game between the Cubs and the Dodgers. The Cubs ran into a little snag lately. They've lost 5 straight. Let's hope they bounce back. 1 strike on Lee Stange. In there for call strike 2. And McLain said, I'll not walk to you this time. You can see the uniform of Stange. It's quite a bit of perspiration on it. It's hot. Humid. Dennis McLain. Talking about Canigliaro. Freehand moves outside, and the umpire started to come up with that right hand. Said it was a little bit too high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curt Canigliaro, singer. Dennis McLain's an organ player, isn't he?
That's right. They'd make quite a combo together, wouldn't they, in the off season?
Did he say he just made a record or something? A lazy looper out in the right field. Jim Northrup under it. Takes it one-handed.
Tony made some records a couple of years ago. I don't believe he made any last year, though, but he was cutting records a couple of years ago for a company. Incidentally, McLain, we understand, is opening a new restaurant here, and they're going to name it the Upper Deck.
There you go.
Oh. The Upper Deck. And they've been kidding him about all the home runs in the Upper Deck he's been giving up here, so he said that's a good name for the restaurant.
Well, talking about the home runs hit off with Denny McLain, he's in pretty good company with Ramus and Robin Roberts, both of them fine pitchers. A high fastball will get you in trouble occasionally. Andrews, the second baseman, takes the first pitch. It's too low, ball 1. Pittsburgh leads Cincinnati 3-0 after 3. In the American League after 2, Washington, Cleveland all tied up 2-2. Minnesota, Chicago after 4, no score. Well, he had a ripple at that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. White Sox and the Twins. Those White Sox get some kind of pitching. They are never out of a ball game. The White Sox I'm talking about. Curveball. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. On Andrews. Who used to be a shortstop. Moved into second base, and Dick Williams said that's the spot. He looks better there than he did at shortstop. Ball hit right back through the middle. McAuliffe up with the ball. Flips the ball over to Cash, and that's all for Andrews, and that's all for the Red Sox in the top half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. So after 4.5 innings of play, it's Detroit 1, the Red Sox nothing.
13-3-1. 13-3-1. 12-5-8. 12-5. Hey, Chuck, look at this. Well, hello there, old fella. I wonder who he belongs to. I don't know. There's a house up there.
Ready for a real smoke?
Have a Camel?
Have a Camel. Camel's real taste satisfies longer. Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel. Now there's a new Camel cigarette. New Camel filters. With a smooth, easygoing taste.
Oh, the puppy's gone. Where'd he go?
Here, puppy. Here, puppy. Let's look outside. Come on.
Here, Bob.
New Camel filters are here with real taste. And Camel's real taste satisfies longer. Taste new Camel filter cigarettes.
Before the game, we talked to Mayo Smith and asked him how's the ball club been doing since he lost Al Kaline. Here's what he had to say.
How's your ball club been looking since you lost your star Al Kaline? Well, actually, Pee Wee, we've won 7 and lost 2 since Al's been out of the lineup. We were very fortunate in coming up with Jim Landis and also Lenny Green due to the injury to Al and Gates Brown.
The first hitter for the Tigers, Mickey Stanley, the center fielder. Having a little trouble with that bat, but he can go get that ball with the best of them. Lee Stange, first pitch to him is outside, ball 1. For a big fellow, he can run. Has 5 stolen bases, has not been thrown out. Batting .217, 4 home runs. Ball hit out into right field. Panigliero right there and picks it for out number 1. Not too much action in this ball game. It's been mostly pitching, as Stange and McLain have taken over. Euler, the shortstop, batting .207. I saw this youngster last night. He made 2 or 3 some kind of plays. He can play a lot of shortstop. Ball hit off the end of his bat. Andrews up with the ball, puts the ball over to Scott. So it's 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, as the Red Sox whip that ball around the infield. They have lost 3 straight. The Tigers are in second place behind the White Sox. White Sox 43 and 31, and the Tigers 43 and 34. McLain, who got a base hit, 1 for 1 today, takes a look at his third base coach, Tony Cuccinello. Mr. Cuccinello said he's going to. There he is, old Tony, who was with Al Lopez for many years. Every place that Al managed, Tony Cuccinello went with him. Said he was going to play a little golf with Mr. Lopez down in Tampa during the All-Star break. Wants to take a little bet on Mr. Lopez. A little grounder out to Andrews. The ball bounces up on him. He comes up with it over to George Scott, and that's all for McLain, and that's all for the Tigers here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. The score after 5 complete innings: Detroit 1, Boston nothing.
Under normal driving conditions, many motor oils will do a good job of protecting your engine. But in cold weather, some oils thicken and clog. Some grow thin at high temperatures. Some break up at high speeds, or in stop-and-go traffic. But there is one motor oil that never loses its ability to protect your engine: Phillips 66 Trop Arctic motor oil. Extensive road and laboratory tests, including those performed by automobile manufacturers themselves, have shown that Trop Arctic protects your engine against rust, sludge, varnish, and carbon over a wider range of temperatures and driving conditions than any of the other great long-mileage motor oils. There is no finer motor oil, regardless of price. That's why it's called car insurance in a can. Next time you buy motor oil, get Trop Arctic motor oil from Phillips 66.
Let's pause now for station identification.
Sunday nights, too, it's Let's Make a Deal at 8:30, 7:30 Central Time.
1964, and Bill Curtis tried Ballantine beer.
I like it, but mine tastes better.
1967, and Bill tries Ballantine again.
Hey, that's great beer. What did they do?
We improved it. Ballantine is so good, it's now a premium beer. And it says so right on the label. Try it.
Kim Novak and Frederick March meet in the middle of the night tonight at 11:15 here on Channel 6.
Will be the first hitter. Batting .230, has 12 home runs. Hit .321 during the month of June. As you can also see there, the Red Sox have not shown too much of that power today. Of course, neither have the Tigers. And sometimes the pitching has something to do with it. Curt, you have some scores?
Later score over in Chicago, Pee Wee. The Twins and the White Sox, no score at the end of 5. Merritt against Tommy John. They're in the 6th inning now at Comiskey Park.
All righty. Joe Foy will be followed by Carl Yastrzemski. The high fly out into center field should be no trouble for Mickey Stanley. And takes it for out number 1. As both clubs are jumping on that first pitch. Yastrzemski wants to have the umpire to take a look at the ball, as Mr. Ballantine does. Mickey Stanley out in center field. Had a busy day. He's had 5 putouts. Yastrzemski batting .314. He lined a double in right center his last time up, but failed to score. You can see this is kind of a closed stance. You'll get those hands high in the air. Comes down on the pitch. Fastball in there for call strike. Yastrzemski doubled his last time up. He lined in a double play his first time up, so he's 1 for 2. Take a good look at this fella. Not a bad hitter.
He takes one of the hardest cuts in baseball, Pee-wee. That bat comes around, hits him in the small of the back. But he really takes a vicious cut. Always has. Won a batting title his first year in the Carolina League. Lost the batting title the next year in the AAA American Association. Has won the American League batting title. But he's always up there in each league fighting for the batting championship.
Little tapper. The pitcher will have to get over there. Cash flips the ball to McLain, covering, and that's all for Carl Yastrzemski. Every time I see Yastrzemski, for some reason or another, he reminds me of Ted Williams. He used to wear his hat cocked a little bit like Ted always did. Swing a little bit like him. Of course, when you start comparing someone to Ted Williams when they actually swing that bat, not too much of a comparison. Even though Yastrzemski is a real fine hitter. Speaking of good hitters, there's a pretty good hitter right here, Tony Conigliaro. And I wouldn't say that name too often, Pee-wee. Kind of tough.
Just call him Tony C.
Conigliaro, Yastrzemski, Petrocelli. Get Reggie Smith up there after a while. Tony crowds at plate. Let's see what Freehand does here. Keeping that target low a little bit out in front of that good changeup of McLain. It's 2 away, 2 strikes on Conigliaro. We're in the top half of the 6th inning here at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. And the Tigers scored 1 in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Boston has failed to score. A wide stance by Tony. And he crowds the plate. Curveball, outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's a younger brother that's a pretty good ball player.
Right, his brother Billy's in the service now, but he's also a coming star.
Fastball foul straight back. 1-2 the count. Pittsburgh now leads Cincinnati 5-0. They came up with 2 in the 4th. The 1-2 pitch. What happens to a changeup when it gets a little high like that, Sandy? What's a pitcher do?
I think a lot of times, Stewie, you didn't really want to throw it. To get it that bad, you almost think, I'm afraid to throw it here, and you never even get it close to the plate. It's the safest way to throw it, probably.
The ball hit pretty hard out in the right center. Northup goes over. He calls for the ball and takes it way out there. That's all for Conigliaro, and that's all for the Red Sox here in the top half of the 6th innings. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. And the score after 5.5 innings of play, Detroit 1, Boston 0.
instrument illumination, a handsome luxury interior, the most powerful standard V8 in the low price field. A long, fine car look that isn't just a stretch of the imagination.
Plymouth is out to win you over this year. Follow your heart to your Plymouth dealer today.
Fury, the most irresistible Plymouth of all time.
Well, fans, tomorrow afternoon, Sportsman Holiday goes salmon fishing in the remote corner of Canada. Join us for Sportsman Holiday tomorrow and every Sunday at 5:30, 4:30 Central Time on most of these NBC stations. Who you think's going to be the host? The old sportsman himself, the old fly fisherman, Curt Gowdy. Kind of a show is this, Curt? Pretty good?
Good show.
I'm sure it is. Lenny Green, who used to be with the Red Sox, doing a real fine job, as you heard Mayo Smith say. The best thing he did was to bring up Lenny Green and get Jim Lannis when Al Kaline got hurt. Great job of this fellow. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lenny. Batting .381. Hits the ball to all field. That pitch was too low. Two hits by the Tigers and 2 hits for the Red Sox. 1 run for the Detroit. Not any by the Red Sox. There's a ball hit out into right field. The right fielder, Canigliaro, cannot come up with it. Other than look out, he's going to be batting 1,000. Pretty hard to do, I guess. Jerry Lumpy. You'll notice now the Tigers throw 5 left-handed batters at Stange. Lumpy chokes up on that bat. Batting second. They may move this runner. There he goes. The ball hit on the left field. This ball could be foul. There's Lenny Green, and he was on his way. As Mayo Smith had the hit and run on. That's what you have to do sometime when you lose a fellow like Al Kaline and Willie Horton and Gates Brown. Your power, you got to hit and run and steal a little bit.
You lose your power, Pee-wee, you've got to try something to score some runs.
Squeeze a little bit. Runner at first base, that's Lenny Green, the hitter. Jerry Lumpy swings right through a fastball. Had a left-handed pitcher warming up. His name is Lyle. A good shot right there. You get a chance to see the base runner and the hitter. Very seldom see him send a runner with 2 strikes on a hitter. No one out. Sometimes he'll do it with 2 men out. If you throw him out, you just have your hitter come leading things off the next inning. Fastball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jerry Lumpy as he checks with the coach, Cuccinello, at third base. Fellow first came up with the Yankees. With Kansas City. Bounce around. There goes Lenny Green. Foul ball. Come on back, Lenny. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jerry Lumpy. The Tigers lead in this ball game by a score of 1-0. Denny McLain against Lee Stange. There's the young left-hander, Lyle, and he throws pretty hard. outside. 2-2. Al Lyle, they call him Sparky. 2-2 is the count on Jerry Lumpy. Watch the base runner. He didn't go. It's too low. 3-2. Well, as we've often said, the fellow batting in that second position, he's supposed to be able to handle that bat and get a piece of the ball. So if we count 3-2, no one away, I'm sure that they'll send Lenny Green. That was not his good move. He may come back with a better one on this one. It's no one away. We're in the bottom half of the sixth inning. There goes the runner. Lazy looper. Boy, in foul territory, takes it. Back to first base, Lenny Green. Have a real nice crowd here today and a lot of youngsters. The hitter is Dick McAuliffe. Always like to walk in a ballpark and see those young fans. Dick McAuliffe takes the first pitch. It's outside, ball one. Let's see what he's done today. He's 0 for 2. Batting .250. He has 15 home runs. Low and outside, ball 2. On at first base, Lenny Green. That's big George Scott holding him on. See, Dick McAuliffe did not like that call, as he has a few words. Mr. Valentine behind home plate. You can't win, Dick.
All he can do is get an early shower if he
Mayo is coming out now. Of course, he's not protesting the strike, because if you do, you're out of the ball game. He's out there to protect McAuliffe. He didn't want to see him thrown out of the ball game. There's the super scout, Mr. Mayo Smith. That's what he was called, his title, when he worked for the last 5 or 6 years with the Yankees. A real fine person. Down in Florida. Goes from inside to outside. I imagine McAuliffe right now is thinking that plate must be about 30 inches wide. Just got the black. Sometimes when you look at that curveball on the outside, you go out for it and you throw that fastball inside. Hard to stay on it. Pretty good pitch right there.
I think Stange wanted that one, Pee-wee. I think if they'd called McAuliffe out, we might have lost McAuliffe for the day.
3-2, one away. Lenny Green on at first base. I imagine he'll be running. Flip over there to Stange. The score 1-0. Detroit over Boston. We're in the bottom half of the sixth inning in Detroit. There goes the runner. Pitch was a little outside. Lenny Green moves down to second. That's the first walk. Giving up a lead, Stange. And as Curt told you, this fellow doesn't walk too many men. Average is about 2 men every 9 innings, and that's very good. Here comes my old friend coming out of the dugout. Sal Magley, pitching coach for the Red Sox.
The barber. He wasn't your friend when he was with the Giants.
Oh, I'm telling you, I used to hate this man.
Talking to Sal about it this morning, Pee Wee, about coming from the Giants where, you know, he and the Dodgers sort of had a running gun battle for years, and all of a sudden coming over to pitch for the Dodgers. And I guess he and Carl Furillo became the best friends after years of hating each other.
Well, there's a break in the action here at Tiger Stadium. The score, Detroit 1, Boston nothing.
Parky Lyle.
That's the boy, 14. He's going to have all the advantages I never had. See that? Peach fuzz already. See this? The Gillette Hoosiers. A light pressureless shave, less chance of a nick, no blades to mess around with. All the advantages. Then I got to thinking, why shouldn't I have all the advantages I never had? So...
Are they dangerous, Warden?
Hardened criminals, everyone.
That one there doesn't look the type.
Worst of the lot.
What did he do?
Stashed away the family's right guard. Tried to keep it all to himself. Left his whole family defenseless.
Beast!
Gillette Right Guard. The perfect personal family deodorant. Because nothing touches you but the spray itself. Don't leave your family defenseless. Keep an extra Right Guard on hand.
The new pitcher. Saw him warming up down there a while ago. Al Sparky Lau. He was 2-2 in Toronto. He's a relief specialist from Reynoldsville, Pennsylvania. Been 2 games here since he's been in Detroit. They haven't scored often. Sandy, how does he throw?
Left-handed, Pee Wee.
Thank you very much. What are you trying to tell me? You haven't seen him pitch?
No, I haven't, Pee Wee, but if he's a relief specialist, I'd have to bet that he throws a sinking fastball and probably has a pretty good breaking ball, slider. Most of your relief pitchers are guys that can make the opposing players hit the ball on the ground.
Yes, sir. The great relief pitchers always keep that ball down, it seems like. They usually have a sinker. Kurt, you have some other scores.
Minnesota, Chicago, no score at the end of 6. Merritt against John. Cleveland 3, Washington 2 into 3. Tiant for the Indians. Pretty relief. Coleman in the second. Tony Horton homered in the third. Nobody on for the Indians. New York to Baltimore. Twiniter tonight. A doubleheader, Kansas City at California. And the Pirates lead Cincinnati 5-0 into 4.5. The only other game going right now in the National.
The first pitch to Norm Cash, a breaking pitch. A wild swing at it. Last night, what is that pitcher's name? Wasilewski, pitching for the Red Sox. They had Norm Cash up there. Dick Williams had a left-hander warming up down there. I know he thought about bringing him in. Got a little trouble, and Cash hit one 9 miles out in the right field. So today, Mr. Williams bringing that left-hander in to pitch to Cash, and he struck him out. Runners on first and second. Down at second base, Lenny Green. Over at first base, Dick McCullough. Another left-handed hitter, Jim Northrup, batting .274. We have a right-hander warming up. It's Brandon. May see him come in the next inning to pitch the bottom half of that lineup, who's all right-handed. Say one thing, this Lyle looks pretty good. There's Brandon. One ball and one strike. Lenny Green at second base. At first base, Dick McCullough. 1-0. Detroit over Boston. Lee Stange goes 5 1/3 inning, giving up 1 run so far. The 2 base runners belong to him. Pitched a fine ball game, Stange did. Curt, tell us something about that All-Star game. Starts out in Anaheim.
Well, we're going to be underway with it at 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. This will be the first time the All-Star game ever been televised into nighttime television, in the East especially.
Little pop-up. Boy at third base should have it. He's over near the stands and takes it for out number 3. So Lau does a fine job for the Red Sox here. In the bottom half of the 6th inning, they came up with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So the score after 6 full innings, Detroit 1, Boston 0.
Is there a special day to try Salem filter cigarettes? Sure there is. It's the day you're in the mood for a change, a real change, a different tasting cigarette. That's your Salem day. Today, get the taste that's springtime fresh every time around. Discover how Salem refreshes your taste. Rich tobacco taste, menthol soft flavor. That's Salem. And today's your day to try them. Have a Salem. Salem refreshes your taste.
Fans next Saturday will be traveling to the Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles for the game between the surprising Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'll see Ron Santo and all the rest of the exciting Cub team and watch Leo DeRocher face his old team. That's next Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Central Time, in color, exclusively on NBC. Curt, come on in here.
And George Scott hits a ground ball to Euler in a hole along through, and he's got him. That's the play of the ball game so far. That's the play that shortstop has to make. Deep in the hole, the long throw from the grass, and still get your man, and Euler did it. That's what the scouts look for a young shortstop, don't they, Pee-wee?
Yes, sir, Curt, and they can't say enough for this Euler. We saw him, you and I did last night, make 3 fine plays out here, and you can just see what he did right there. A great play, one of the toughest plays for a shortstop, in the hole, and gets up on that ball.
Petroselli's up now. He's lined to short, and he's walked, and he takes ball 1. Petroselli batting .298. The Tigers have 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. The Red Sox have no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. The lone run of this game is an unearned run. He pops it up. A major league pop up to the left side. Waiting for this one to come down is Euler. And that fooled him just a bit. Slight breeze blowing, looking up in that high sky. 2 down. That one nearly brought rain clouds. Reggie Smith is grounded out and flied out. We have 30,000 here this Saturday afternoon, combined paid and youngsters at Tiger Stadium. A strike to Reggie Smith. Four, 7, 9 in a row now have gone down before Dennis McLain. The last man to reach base was Petroselli, who walked in the 4th. The 1-strike pitch. There's a line shot to left center. That's in the gap. Should be for extra bases. Smith can fly. He may go for 3 here. No, he's holding at second. Nearly made an overturn. Going out to meet the relay in was the shortstop, Roy Euler. So it's a double for Smith with 2 down. And they're calling Mike Ryan back. And they're going to hit for him. I believe it'll be Jose Tartabull, a left-handed batter. The Red Sox now have the tying run at second, 2 down. Tartable went to the bat rack. He's batting .252. And he's coming out to hit for the catcher, Ryan. The Red Sox have had 3 hits. Single by Andrews, double by Yastrzemski, a double by Reggie Smith. Tigers have had 3 singles. Lenny Green has 2 of them, and McLain the pitcher. So from 2 to 8 in that batting order, the Tigers haven't had a hit.
Curt, a lot of times when you put a pinch hitter in like that with a tying run on at second base, it's late in the ball game. It's the 7th inning. Say, well, may put him on, but you know that Dick Williams, if you put Tartable on at first base, you know you're going to bring up a pinch hitter for Al Sparky Lau. So I'm sure that they'll pitch to Tartable.
The best left-handed pinch hitter, Pee Wee, the Red Sox have, is in the service right now. Dalton Jones putting in a 2-week hit. They have Jerry Adair available, but they're short on left-handers. You know, you almost need a scorecard anymore to keep track of these ball clubs with this 2-week service hitch. Every club has 2 or 3 fellows going in and coming out. Houston at one time had 5 of them coming in and going out. Runner on second, 2 down. Jose Tartable batting. Takes a strike here. A tight ball game, 1-0. Tigers grabbed the lead in the 3rd. Last night they were leading 4-1 going to the 9th, and the Red Sox tied the game in the 9th and sent it into extra innings. Here's the 1-strike delivery. Strike 2 to Jose Tartable. The Tigers and the Red Sox have played 8 games this year, and they split 4-4. And since these 2 teams started playing each other in 1901, they're all even. They've each won 709 games against the other one. So this one will break the tie. The 2-strike pitch. Change-up. Fouls it off. Tartable can really fly. There's Smith at second, 2 down. He hits a slow bounder to the infield. He's very difficult to throw out. One of the fastest men in the majors. 0-2. Jose Tartable. Reggie Smith at second, 2 down. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Sparky Lyle, the pitcher's on deck, and they have Darrell Brandon warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes. Change up, hit on the ground. A caller to Cash, and they're out of the inning. No runs for the Red Sox in the 7th. 1 hit, there were no errors, or 1 man left. The middle of the 7th inning, the score is the Tigers 1 and the Red Sox
0. They would stretch from Greenwich Village, up 5th Avenue, through the Lincoln Tunnel, along the Connecticut Turnpike, across the streams of Vermont, through the woods of New Hampshire, and up the rocky coast of Maine. In fact, if all the beer drinkers who bought Fields Real Draft last year were lined up, they would stretch from New York to Labrador. We call this the greatest single success in beer history. Now, we could shout about Peel's Real Draft. We could brag about its flavor. But we feel 1,314,630 new customers is the best advertisement of all time.
Come on, buddy. Join the line.
There's the inter-club history. It showed you how close these two clubs are. That was going into this season, and they've each won 4 against each other this year. That's about as dead even as two teams can get. From 19-1 into the 1967 season. So here we go now, fans, to the last of the 7th. The home half of the 7th in Tiger Stadium. Bill Freehand, Mickey Stanley, Ray Oyler coming up. We have a new catcher in for the Red Sox, Russ Gibson. Sparky Lyle is pitching. Bill Freehand has grounded out twice. 0 for 2, batting .277. Ball one. Freehand won the ball game last night. A line drive hit off the left field wall that dropped dead at the base of the wall, scored the winning run from first base. 1 ball, no strike. Doing nothing. Both these clubs will be well represented in the All-Star game. The Red Sox will have 4 players. The White Sox will have 4 players. The Minnesota Twins 4 players. Ground ball in the hole, scooped up by Joe Foy. Nice play, and there's 1 down. Mickey Stanley coming up. Fouled out and flied out. The Tigers will have 3. They had 3 voted. Kaline has been replaced. By the way, they announced today that Tony Conigliaro would start in the outfield for the American League, as Frank Robinson is now out of the game. He still is suffering double vision after having a slight concussion, and Robinson will not play. The Baltimore Star. Strike 1. So the starting outfield will now be Yastrzemski, Oliva, and Conigliaro. And I would imagine they're not trying to manage the ball club for Hank Bauer, but he may have to put Yastrzemski in center field because I don't believe Conigliaro or Oliva played center. Foul ball. 0-2. So they'll be in the starting lineup without a really natural, regular center fielder. The American League had 4 of their pitchers pitched last night from the All-Star squad. Downing, Peters, Chance, and McLaughlin. They'll be well rested, 4 of those boys. The National League had none of their All-Star starters worked last night. Boy handling the chopper. 2 down. Ray Oyler coming up. Marichel's pitching today against Drysdale. That'll be quite a spectacle. We're really looking forward to it. Pee Wee, Sandy, and I will be out there covering the game for NBC Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. We'll be joined by Buddy Black, the Angels broadcaster. Strike 1. Understand that Gene Autry, the owner of the club, President Bob Reynolds, General Manager Fred Haney, really gone to a lot of preparation and going to play outstanding host role for all the press and radio and the fans. It's a beautiful ballpark, by the way. If you've never seen it in person or on TV, I know you'll be delighted to see it when we telecast Tuesday. A 1-1 pitch. Fouled off, 1-2. Our score here, the Tigers are leading the Red Sox 1-0, last of the 7th. The way the Angels have been winning, fans should be in a happy frame of mind out there, too, when we go out there Tuesday. One ball, 2 strikes. He went after that bad fastball way outside, and Sparky Lyle blew him down in the 7th. 3 up, 3 down. The end of the 7th inning here in Detroit. To score, the Tigers 1 and the Red Sox 0.
On the prowl, The wild new 67 Plymouth Barracudas are here. Looking for the car that thinks it can take their measure. But there are no takers. The 67 Barracuda Hardtop, America's lowest priced sports car. The 67 Sports Barracuda, the one that gives you all the excitement of a European road race. Take a 67 Barracuda for a test drive. You won't be disappointed.
Plymouth is out to win you over this year. Follow your heart, see your Plymouth dealer today.
We pause now for station identification.
Help keep the last of the great beers great. Never use for medicinal purposes. Do not serve at room temperature. With one exception. And above all, don't try to improve it.
Thoroughbred racing in beautiful surroundings. That's the Green Mountain Story, Monday through Saturday at 7:45. Green Mountain, Pownell, Vermont.
This is WRGB, Channel 6, Schenectady, first in the Capital District.
Did you ever invite the guests to a wedding and then have to cancel the wedding? This is what this boy did that is coming up to pinch hit for the Red Sox. His name is Ken Poulsen, and just a couple of weeks ago he was playing for Winston-Salem in the Carolina League, and he and his fiancée had the wedding date set. They invited about 3 dozen guests. And the day before the wedding, the Red Sox said, "You're in the big leagues, son." So they canceled the wedding for a while, and he came up to join the Red Sox. Ball one. And his bride said, "We can get married any day, but my guy can't go to the big leagues any day." So they put it off for a little while. And here he is, Ken Poulsen, who's hitting for the pitcher right now, Sparky Lyle. Ball two.
Sounds to me like she's going to make him a good wife.
Yes, sir. A good baseball wife, and they have to be very understanding.
You better believe it.
2 balls and no strikes. The strike. He's only 20 years old. Well, you know, you talk to minor league managers who manage these youngsters in Class D ball down below 18, 19, and 20. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. 8th inning. 2-2. And they say, Pee Wee, one of the toughest jobs there is when you have to call a young fellow in with a new wife, or they have a little baby, and tell them that they've been sent, they're being sent down or sent out. That's a tough job. A young married couple in the minors. And the wife has to be very understanding. 2-2. Foul back. These baseball wives deserve a lot of credit. They have to maintain 2 homes when they play. Usually their regular home. And then they come to the major league city where their husband's playing and bring the family. Bounding ball is foul. Your wife used to, keep your home in Louisville, and you come up to Brooklyn.
That's right, Curt. I was just sitting here listening to you, and you were bringing out some good points, but I was thinking that I guess you have to be an understanding wife, whatever business you're in. Think of it. It is a little tough, though. You taking your children in school, putting them in school and taking them out, and putting them in here and bringing them out. It's
the 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball into center field. Broken bat coming on is Ron Northrup, and is 1 down. Top of the order now, Mike Andrews for the Red Sox. Single, flied out, and grounded out. The Tigers are ahead 1-0 in the 8th inning. Tigers have 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. The Red Sox have no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Denny McLain has gone all the way. There's Bucky Brandon, and that number 27 is his age. He's 27 years old today. There you go. He'll be coming on the pitch in the last of the 8th inning. Mike Andrews pops it up to the left side. Calling for it is Euler, the shortstop. 2 down. Joe Foy has walked, fly to center field twice. He's 0 for 2. McLain with a record of 9 wins, 9 losses. His last time out was a complete game, beating the Indians 2-1. He allowed just 3 hits in that game. Slow ball to Foy is ball 1. And now McLain's getting into the big boys in that Red Sox lineup. Foy, Yastrzemski, Conigliaro, Scott, and Petrocelli. Another slow one. Ball 2, 2-0. Two away, bases empty. Fly ball to right field, fairly deep, and Northrop has room as he backpedals to the edge of the warning track. And that's it in the 8th inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Red Sox. In the middle of the 8th, the score: the Detroit Tigers 1, the Boston Red Sox 0.
Gillette packs an avalanche of smooth shaving comfort in new Gillette Foamy. Nobody makes a lather like Foamy. So moist, so rich, so creamy. Nobody makes a lather like Gillette.
What happens when a little water meets a little heads-up hair groom? Love. Heads Up mixes with water. You get water's clean look with the staying power of hairdressing. And you just add water to comb it again. Isn't love wonderful?
Bucky Brandon is making his 18th appearance of the year for the Red Sox. He's won 2, lost 7, an earned run average of 4.16. In the last of the 8th inning, he'll face the Tiger pitcher, Dennis McLain, and then Lenny Green and Jerry Lumpy at the top of the order. And the hand you hear in the background is for McLain, who has fired a 3-hit shutout so far today. In other games, Minnesota and the White Sox. The end of 7, no score. That's the big one. The top 4 clubs in the league are meeting here in the weekend. The Twins and White Sox in Chicago, the Tigers and the Red Sox here. McLain is single and grounded out. Ball 1 to him. Fastball strike, 1-1. Ground ball to Petrocelli. 1 down. Green is lined out and singled twice. 2 out of 3. A .409 batter. Since the Tigers put him in their uniform here and brought him up from Toledo. He and his mother own a florist shop here in Detroit. been delivering the roses for the Tigers. Ball 1 to Lenny Green. Tigers ahead 1-0. Brandon's low with it 2-0. Oh, we've got a real seat squirmer going on here in Tiger Stadium. Two and one. Bounty ball, takes a bad hop. Mike Andrews feeling it, throws, safe at first base. Andrews made a great play, backing up that bad hop over the head of George Scott. Right side of that Tiger infield has had 2 bad hops in it. Now watch this ball really take a hop over Scott's head. And Andrews, keep your eye on him on the backup here.
Well, you can see, as Curt said, the ball took a bad hop on George Scott, and Andrews never did give up on the ball. He just kept going, made a great play, but the time he rolled over and flipped the ball to the pitcher, not in time. Lenny Green can go down there pretty fast.
There goes Green, foul off. Tigers playing hit and run. Lenny Green now has 3 of the 4 hits for the Tigers. And they're bringing him back to first base. The Tigers have 1 away. They're leading the Red Sox 1-0. The Red Sox in the 9th inning will have the heart of their batting order up: Yastrzemski, Conigliaro, and Scott. That one's hit deep in the center. Reggie Smith on his horse, still going. He's got it. 400 feet from home plate. The throw into Mike Andrews. Smith just outran that one. 2 down. Right at the warning path. And this is what we mean about this ballpark. If you'll keep him from pulling here, and you've got a center fielder that can run, those big, long 400-foot flies are outs here. 2 down. Dick McCullough. Fly to right, foul out, and walk. For a strike.
Notice one thing about Reggie Smith that out there, he turned to his left then, and he kept that ball right on his left all the way. A lot of times you see an outfielder turn to left, that ball's on the right-hand side. It's tough to catch. But he turned right away and just kept going and went right for the ball.
He handled that one beautifully. And he whirled and got that ball back into that infield, too. Green getting back. Down. One ball, 1 strike to Dick McCullough. out to the plate. 2-2 to McAuliffe. With 2 out, Lenny Green's at first. The Tigers won, the Red Sox nothing in the last of the 8th inning. Bucky Brandon pitching 2-2 when he delivers to the plate. Now 3-2, and Green will be going on this pitch. Green will be running. There he goes. Ball 4. Runners on first and second. The batter, Norman Cash, flied out, grounded out, and struck out. Tigers have a great pair of fans all the way in the Bahama Islands. Mr. and Mrs. Bill Shackleton of the Crown Colony Club there in Chub Key in the Bahamas, they've erected a special aerial on their home way over there in deep in the Bahama Islands, and they get our NBC games from the Miami station. And they're great Detroit fans, so I imagine they're watching for the Tigers now. Ball 1 to Norm Cash. Green at second, McAuliffe at first, 2 down. Tigers 1, Red Sox nothing. And now there's ball 2, and Osinski is starting to warm up for the Red Sox. Now Joe Foy has asked for time. Osinski getting heated up. And the third baseman Foy's come in here for 2 reasons. One, to try and settle his pitcher Brandon down, and to give Osinski some extra time out in the bullpen. Just a minute, somebody's going to tell Foy to get back to his third base job, and let's get this ball game moving. And here's Valentine about to move out. Two and nothing to Norman Cash. Runners on first and second. 2 down. They're not holding at first. Cash looked at that fastball in there. I believe he said to himself, boy, I should have ripped at it. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a base hit to right field. Lenny Green is rounding third. The throw by Conigliaro is cut off by Scott. Over to third went McAuliffe, and Cash delivers a big hit for the Tigers. So instead of a 1-run ball game, now it's a 2-run game. A little bit different for a pitcher to work on in the 9th inning.
Makes it a lot easier for him now, Curt. He doesn't have that tying run at the plate every time the hitter comes up there. Especially on a day like today, as hot as it is, and he looks like he's a little tired, McLain. He's walking awful slow back and forth from the mound.
Runners on first and third, 2 outs. The Tigers leading now 2-0 in the last of the 8th, and Jim Northrup up. Now struck out, grounded out, and fouled out. Ball 1 for him. Ground ball to Mike Andrews, flipping to Petroselli for the force play on Cash. The side's out, but the Tigers picked up a big run on 2 hits. No Red Sox error. The Tigers left 2. At the end of 8, the score is the Detroit Tigers 2, the Boston Red Sox nothing.
Days like this, a man has time to notice things. Like the little sounds of deep woods and shallow water, and the fresh taste of a Salem.
Have a Salem, see how Salem refreshes your taste. From the first puff to the last puff, refreshes your taste.
Discover rich tobacco taste. Menthol soft flavor in Salem filter cigarettes. America's largest selling menthol because Salem refreshes your taste.
The ninth inning, fans in Tiger Stadium. The Red Sox have their 3, 4, and 5 hitters of their lineup up. Yastrzemski, Conigliaro, and Scott facing Denny, McLain, who's allowed just 3 hits and no runs so far in this game. The Lions score for 8 innings. The Tigers have 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. The Red Sox have no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Dick Tracewski is going to third base now for the Tigers, replacing Jerry Lumpy. Yastrzemski's lined into a double play, double to right center, and grounded out to first. Batting .313. Fly ball looping into the right field corner, a base hit for Yastrzemski to start off the ninth. And now the tying run will be coming to the plate. Runner on first, nobody out. Tony Conigliaro up, and action now is springing up in the Tiger bullpen. Like Marshall and Gladding. Gladding's number 20, Marshall's 28. Tony Conigliaro. Flied out 3 times, twice to center, once to right. Batting .299. It's a high fly left center. Stanley has flipped the sunglasses down, looking up. 1 away. Yastrzemski getting back to first. Six putouts for Stanley in center field. The American League record is 11 putouts by a center fielder. The Major League record is 12 putouts for a center fielder. George Scott has bounced to the pitcher, struck out, and grounded out. On our NBC scoreboard, it's the Red Sox nothing and the Tigers 2. Ninth inning, last call for the Red Sox. Ball 1 to Scott. Petroselli's on deck. Yastrzemski at first, 1 out. Two 2-0. McLain looks like he's a little tired, Sandy.
He looks like he's struggling, Curt, but the last 3-4 innings, he's pitched probably his best baseball. He's stayed out of less trouble. He's gone with the fastball a little bit more. His curveball he's made a few mistakes with, but he hasn't thrown as many as we've seen him throw.
The 2-0 pitch to Scott is 3-0 now. And the Tiger fans now are starting to rumble with uneasiness, as the Red Sox have a runner on first, 1 out, and a 3-0 count to George Scott. 30,000 fans here today, Tiger Stadium. The 3-0 pitch. Right in there to him, 3-1. To George Scott. Ball 4. That's the fourth walk by McLain, but his first walk since the fourth inning. The Red Sox now have runners on first and second, one out. Enrico Petrocelli. Petrocelli is lined out to short, walked, and popped to short. Pops it up. The infield fly rule call, the batter automatically out. Runners advance at their own risk. 2 down. Foul handled it. And rookie Reggie Smith now, the last hope for the Red Sox. He's grounded at first, flying to left, and doubles. 1 out of 3. Dembski's at second. Scott's at first. 2 down. Ball 1 to Smith. Down, 9th inning. Tigers 2, Red Sox nothing. Two and nothing. There's Scott at first. Dembski at second. And Jose Santiago now warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. Russ Gibson, the Red Sox catcher, is the on-deck batter. The 2-0 pitch. He changed up and got it over for a strike. 2-1. There's Santiago. Mayo Smith watching intently his pitcher McLain, hoping for that last out, the hardest out to get in the ball game. 2-1 is the count. A chopper hit the short. Euler makes the play. The ball game's over. As McLain has pitched his first shutout of the year. The tying runs were on there in the 9th inning, but McLain on a hot afternoon had enough to withstand the Red Sox threat. In the 9th, the Red Sox, no runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, and 2 left. So the final score, the Detroit Tigers, 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. The Boston Red Sox, no runs.
Some people actually believe that old beer is good beer. If this were true, people would have beer cellars. And we'd bottle our vintage beer in nifty-looking decanters. And you could tuck away your oldest beer with the rest of your extra private stock. You could save it for extra special occasions. Serve it in nice little sophisticated glasses. Or maybe you'd even whip up a vintage beer sling. Well, the truth is, the fresher the beer, the better the taste. That's why we brew Black Label locally, all around the country. In fact, you can't buy any good old Carling Black Label.
Well, that was a big run the Tigers picked up in the 8th inning when they were leading 1-0. Lenny Green got on with a hit, finally scored our Norm Cassius single. That made it 2-0 because the Red Sox, Yastrzemski led off the top of the ninth with a single, and the Red Sox might have played a little bit differently with a bunt trying to move a man on into scoring position. So there's your line score again, and the Tigers have won their 6th in a row, and the Red Sox have lost their 4th in a row. This broke a Red Sox streak, though. Their last 10 losses have all been by 1 run. That is, the last 10 games they've lost. Today they lost by 2 runs. Again, the final score, the Tigers 2 and the Red Sox 0. In a moment, we'll continue to review the action of today's game.
The man with the wild new 67 Sports Barracuda has a lot going for him. He's got a car with the irresistible look, the irresistible feel of a European sports car. And the beauty isn't only skin deep. Barracuda has plenty of V8 muscle to back it up. Wild attraction number 2. Barracuda Hardtop, America's lowest price sports car. Yet it can be made as personal as you want it. Take a 67 Barracuda for a test drive. You won't be disappointed.
Plymouth is out to win you over this year. Follow your heart to your Plymouth dealer today.
Our statistician today is Alan Roth, our stage manager, Jim O'Gorman. And on behalf of Pee Wee Reese and Sandy Koufax, Curt Gowdy saying again the final score, the Tigers 2, the Red Sox 0.